Hi everyone, welcome to another sewing tutorial on this channel. Thank you for stopping by. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make this stylish shirred blouse with long bell sleeves. If you are interested to see how this is made, why not keep watching, and do not forget to like this video and also subscribe to my channel if you are yet to. To make this blouse, you will need at least 1.5 yard of fabric that is 60 inches in length, and you might need more, that depends on the body size. And a lightweight fabric is very much okay for this style. My fabric for this tutorial is crepe and it is 1.5 yard. You will also need an elastic thread for the shirring. It comes in different sizes and this size will be enough for my blouse. I will be drafting on this pattern paper before transferring to fabric, and the first thing to do is to indicate the shoulder line, and from the shoulder line I'll take the vertical measurement. I don't need the bust line for this tutorial, so I won't indicate it. I will mark my under bust line 13.5, then my shoulder to my waistline 16, and the length of the top I want it to be 23 inches long. Then I'll draw straight lines across the points. Next, I will label the lines. This is the shoulder line, the under bust line, waistline, and the blouse length. On the shoulder line, I will indicate the neck width. I'm working with 3.5. I will also mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. From that point, I will come down by 1 inch to slope the shoulder. From your shoulder slope, go ahead and mark your armhole depth. Then connect the point into a straight line. And also draw an horizontal line across. And that line is the chest line. Now let's create the armhole curve. First, you are going to mark quarter of your bust circumference on the chest line. Then you get the midpoint of the armhole line. From that midpoint, you go in by half an inch, then you connect the points to get the curve. Next thing to do is to determine the depth of your neckline. For me, I'll be using my chest line as the depth of my neckline. But you can go above or below that, depends on how deep you want yours. Then from the point of your neck depth, go in by quarter or half an inch. When you open up your fabric, the quarter inch becomes half an inch and the half an inch becomes 1 inch. I will mark half an inch, then connect the point. I will also connect these points to the neck width. Once you've done that, go ahead and also connect these points to the under bust line with a curve. At the side of the under bust line, you can decide to leave it as it is, straight as it is, or curve it a little. So if you want to curve it, just go up by 1 or half an inch, okay? For me, I'll leave it as it is. Now let's take the round measurement. I already measured my bust circumference, so I'll just add extra inches as ease allowance. For my ease allowance, I will add 2.5 inches. Now you might not add that much because we are still going to slash and spread this upper part. So the total measurement I have here is 12 inches. I'll mark the same thing on the waistline. On the M line, I'll mark quarter of my hip circumference and also add the ease allowance. This is all for the drafting of the front part. I will cut it out now. After shirring the lower part, we'll need to pleat the upper part to fit the lower part. So we need excess fabric around that area. For that reason, I will slash this pattern. From this corner, I will go in by 3 inches. Then locate the midpoint on the shoulder. I will connect the point. and also cut it open. So the more fabric you want for your pleats around the underbust, the wider you spread this. For the back pattern, I already indicated the chest, waist and the blouse length, and they are all the same measurements with the front pattern. The neck width is the same as well as the shoulder measurement. I sloped the shoulder, indicated the armhole depth as well as the chest line. Now the next thing to do is to create the armhole curve. Go ahead and mark quarter of your bust circumference like you did the front. Also mark the midpoint on the armhole line, and this time we don't need to go in by half an inch like we did the front armhole. We'll just connect these 2 points instead. To your bust circumference, add your ease allowance. Basically just use the same measurement you have on your front pattern for all the lines. Now for this back pattern, you can draft it directly on your fabric. You don't have to do this on a pattern paper first. For the neck depth, I'll be using 1.5 inches. And this is all for the back pattern. I will cut it out now. After cutting out the pattern, the next thing to do is transfer each of it to fabric. My fabric is folded in 2 and I'll be adding half-inch seam allowance all around the pattern. For the hem, I will add 1-inch hem allowance. The distance between the spread of this pattern is about 4 inches. If you don't want excess fabric, just spread it a little. The next thing to do now is to start stitching, and I'll start stitching from the hem. I will double fold the hem allowance and stitch down, and I'll do the same with the front piece. After stitching the hem, the next thing to do is to share the fabric. Now to share your fabric, you need to first use your hand to wind the elastic thread onto the bobbin. You don't need to use the sewing machine to do this, just use your hand to gently wind the thread until it's full. Afterwards, you place it into the bobbin case as you would normally do with the regular thread. You will also need to stitch this part, double fold it and stitch down. To shade the fabric, you sew straight lines across the area you want to gather. You sew the straight lines and the elastic thread underneath will gather the fabric. After the first stitch, you need to space the stitches, so you can use quarter or half an inch to do the spacing. Your regular thread will be showing at the right side, while the elastic thread will be showing at the wrong side. For the back piece, you place your front piece on it, then you mark where the front piece is. That is where your shirring will start from on the back piece. You will also sew straight stitches across, just like you would do the front piece. After shirring your fabric, you should also give it a good press. This is what I have afterwards, and this is what the wrong side looks like. Next thing to do now is to attach the upper pieces to the lower part of this front piece. Before we make the pleats and attach these together, we need to first finish up the neckline. I already notched where the neckline stops. Now I will go over to the sewing machine, double fold it and stitch down. You can also cut out a strip of fabric or facing to turn the neckline. After stitching, this is what I have. Now I will stitch this together and also pleat the excess fabric. I will use pins to hold this together. From the top, I'll measure down to 4 inches. That is where I want the pleats to start from. At this point, you will notice the stretch of the fabric, so you have to stretch it out as you stitch. I will go ahead to stitch this together, and I'll stitch the second piece same way. This is the front piece after stitching it together. And this is what the wrong side looks like. I went ahead to finish up the seam allowance. You can also interlock it. For the back piece, I will cut out facing to turn the neckline. After turning the neckline with facing, I flipped it to the wrong side and stitched down. This is what it looks like. The next thing to do is join the shoulder. I replace the front piece on the back piece, right side facing, and I'll be stitching with 1/2 inch. I will also close the side with 1/2 inch. This is my blouse after joining the shoulder and the sides. The next thing to do is to cut out the sleeves. Go ahead and measure around your armhole. I already folded my fabric into 4 to cut out the 2 sleeves, and this is my start line. The length of my sleeve is 26. I added extra 1 inch as hem allowance, making it 27. From the start line, I'll mark 5 inches as the cap height. Then I'll draw a straight line across. On the straight line, I'll mark what I measured on my armhole. Go ahead and do the same. Then connect the points to the center of the fold with a slant line. Next, get the midpoint of the slant line. Then go a little above and a little below the slant line with a curve. Now, on the curved line, you are going to retake your armhole measurements. You will also add seam allowance. I added 1/2 inch as my seam allowance. For the wideness of the hem, I have 12 inches here. I will use 11.5 as the wideness and 1/2 inch as the seam allowance. And this is all for the sleeve. I will cut it out, adding 1/2 inch at the top as joining allowance. I will go ahead to stitch the hem and also close the side. This is what I have afterwards. The next thing to do is attach it to the blouse, and this is how I'll be stitching with 1/2 inch. After joining the sleeves to the armhole, this is what the blouse looks like now. So guys, this is all for the making of this shirred blouse with long bell sleeves. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to like it and share it to others that might find it helpful as well. And if you are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Please do not leave without subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one.